Hey Motor Warriors, if you've watched my videos about 1,200 miles house to house or something like that, where I rode my motorcycle up through, Kentucky and Indiana, and then up around up through Michigan, around the Big Lake, and saw my son, up in Wisconsin. He got a job promotion and transfer, and so I rode up there and went the long way so that I could turn it into another Saddle Sore 1000 ride for the Iron Butt Association. It was my second one that I've done, and then when I was ready to come home, it was my birthday, and I thought, what great gift to give myself would be another Saddle Sore 1000 Iron Butt ride. So I jumped on the bike and rode back the same way basically that I came, and it was roughly 1,200 miles. Iron Butt Association, they don't look at how far you have to go from where you live to the gas station or from the gas station to where you're going. They look from gas station receipt to gas station receipt. And because I live about 15 miles or something from the nearest gas station, that they didn't count that. And then my son lives probably more than 15 miles from the nearest gas station. And so that was the miles that they give you based on map miles and so on. And as I'm talking, I might just try and throw up some pictures and stuff. I had a pretty good time up there, but this is just, they finally approved them, and they send you a lot of stuff talking about how they guard the trademark really well, and these pages are stuck together, but they just explain everything. I think I covered all this stuff in my first Saddle Sore 1000 ride that I did. I've done a lot of long distance rides, like 5,000 miles and whatever, but I didn't keep track of the paperwork. I didn't do it for Iron Butt Association or anything. I just did it because I love to ride. At one point when I did the first Saddle Sore 1000 and I did it for the books, I thought, a lot of people say they ride long distances, and if they don't have anything to prove it, you can say whatever you want. And so the Iron Butt Association, they go over everything that you submit, because they want to make sure that they give you the membership, that if you become a member, that you've actually earned the right to be an Iron Butt Association member. I got that membership the first time, and I thought I'd add 2 more rides to it, just so that when my great grandkids look, they're like, wow, man, check it out, he actually did ride long distance rides. But here's some of the stickers that they send you. I don't know, if you do so many rides, then you get to be a mile leader, and that's what this is. They always send these stickers to you when you do a member ride, and if they approve your ride. I've met a lot of people that went for it and the ride wasn't approved because they didn't have proper documentation. Something's missing, and then they don't get approved, and that happens a lot more than you think. So if you're going to do a Saddle Sore 1000 ride or any Iron Butt Association ride, I strongly recommend that you go to their website. I believe it's iba.org or something like that. You can look it up. But there's a list of stuff that they want you to turn in, and they have forms to fill out, and forms you can run off, you can print off and then fill them out as you go and that kind of thing. I would strongly recommend you read what the requirements are before you set out to ride 1,000 miles or more in 24 hours or less. Because if you try to do a ride like that and you think you accomplished it, but you're missing paperwork and you don't get approved for the ride, you're going to be shattered. I've met a lot of people that have done that. So if you're going to do it, make sure you do it right. And it's, if there's like shortcuts you could have taken, like if you went like this, but you could have gone like that and not made the 1,000 miles, you better have proof that you were at that high point instead of going like that. So you need to make sure every move you make is documented. And if it means stopping an extra time or two for gas, if you want the ride to be certified and to actually be an Iron Butt Association acknowledged ride, you need to have all the documentation. And here's another sticker that they give you. It's just kind of cool. And then there's just a paperwork that comes with it saying, like, congratulations. I'm not going to show you all this because it has my real name and my full name and my address. They also show you stuff like, they also give you one of these Kind of gives your ride description. It just gives your ride description, telling everybody what you did, how you accomplished your ride. They also send you a list of IBA members around the time that you did yours that had approved rides. And I'm going to read some of these to you, okay? This is just one of my rides. There's another sheet because they do it as 2 different rides, because it was 2 different rides. It was the same basic trip, but I did my Iron Butt ride going up, and then I did it when I left, whatever it was, like 10 days later or whatever, when I came home on my birthday. And so this is just one of the rides. I won't go over both of them, but to give you an idea, here's some of the people. There's one person, I'm not going to give a name, but there's one person in Raleigh, North Carolina, and he barely made this ride. He did 1,001 miles. 1,001. That's cutting it close. Because if you're not at 1,000, like, you might think you made 1,000 miles. But if they look at it and say, nope, you could have done this, you could have done that, and they take off even 5 miles, you're done. You didn't make it. Here's some more. There's like several of them that are 1,021 miles. At least they're doing enough to make sure that they, had room to spare. Here's another one, 1,034 miles. Someone else did 1,157. And at the top of the list for this group of riders, I'm actually at the top. It was about 1,200 miles in total. They actually gave me credit for 1,172 miles in less than 24 hours. The nearest one is the one that was 1,157. So I beat him by like what, almost 20 miles or something like that. I actually went well above what I needed to. You're only required to get 1,000, but like I said, if you want to make sure you have room to spare, and I wanted to make sure I had room to spare. And initially, when I did this particular Saddle Sore 1000, my goal was to actually do a Bun Burner 1500 and go 1,500 miles. But when I rode up there, it was August, and in Tennessee, at 4 a.m. or whatever when I left, it was like 80 some degrees. And I almost didn't even take my riding jacket. But by the time I started getting up into upper part of Michigan, up around the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, the temperature had dropped to like 40 degrees. Man, I was not ready for that. I froze. August, man, August. And it hit the 40s. And I'm wearing summer riding gloves and summer, jacket and whatever. I about froze to death. So when I got to my son's house, I was going to take, a couple hours sleep and then finish another 300 and something miles to do the Bun Burner. But I was so frozen. If I'd have had proper gear, I would have done it. But because it was so cold, I just couldn't do it. I didn't have the right gear for it. But anyway, then you also get patches and stuff. But they're pretty cool patches. And then it also came with a pin. And I tell you, this is a really heavy duty, solid pin. This could go in a vest or a jacket and like hold up really well. It's pretty strong. It's on a cardboard backing is what it is. But you can see it has 2 things that you like twist them in, so it's really good quality. So when you become a member of the Iron Butt Association, they don't like try to shortchange you and charge you a lot for nothing. But this is like a backing plate, if you can see that. I don't know how this is shown in focus, but it's just like that on the back. Doing long distance rides, a lot of rides, if you're going to do them, you should do them. The younger you are, the easier it'll be. The better the motorcycle and the more comfortable, the better off you'll be. I did all 3 of these on a 2008 Kawasaki Vulcan Classic LT. The first one I did with the original stock seat, man, that was miserable. That was horrible to ride that thing. Sorry about the camera, I touched the table. But then I put the Mustang seat on it. It's more expensive than what it's worth, but it did make a huge difference. It really helped a lot. But when you're, my age, and you're doing hour after hour after hour after mile after mile after mile, and you're only stopping long enough to get gas, take a pee, jump on the bike and go. When you're doing that, and dealing with traffic and everything at the same time, you need to make sure you're well rested. You need to have your head in the game, because it'll wear on you. And if you don't pay attention and you don't stay focused, it can become really dangerous. You don't have to race and speed. If they think you were speeding the whole time, they won't qualify your ride. They won't accept it. Bye. And the people here are friendly. She's a nice girl. But anyway, if they think that you cheated, if they think that you had to fly like crazy, they will actually remove your ride from qualification. And if they remove it, you're done. Your name's out of the record book. Any acknowledgement that you have, it's gone. There was one guy that they talk about how he was bragging on YouTube about how he was going like 160 miles an hour for some of the trip or whatever, something like that. And when they heard about it and they looked at the video, they went back over and looked at his ride, and they realized, okay, he even admitted he was going way too fast. That's how he got the time that he did, is because he was going too fast. They actually pulled his membership. He is no longer a member of IBA. He'll not be allowed to ever again be a member of the IBA. We don't want people part of this organization to be like daredevils and hot dogs and people who, screaming down the road, dodging in and out of traffic and almost getting people killed and whatever. That's not what it's about. It's dedicated to safe long distance rides. And that's what I believe in, is safe long distance rides. And so if you've ever thought about doing it, check into it. If you're going to be at VAM and you see me and you watch this video and you have questions about being an IBA member, an Iron Butt Association member, or about a SS 1000, the Saddle Sore 1000, or any of the other rides, feel free to come up and talk to me and ask me. And I'd be glad to share my experiences with you. And whatever you do, ride safe, okay? And remember, no matter what it is you want to do, you can do it. If you're 75 or 80 years old and you ride a bike and you've always wanted to do a saddle sore and you don't have health issues that would prevent you from sitting on a bike for, basically 20 hours or more straight, then go for it. If you have health issues or something like that, yeah, you need to be careful of that, because if you're riding and you're getting sore and you're getting sleepy and you're getting tired and you're prone to falling asleep, not a good idea, But if you're healthy and you want to go for a ride, I don't care if you're 90 years old, go for it, man. Do it while you still can. Enjoy the ride and be safe about it. But live your life with the heart of a Viking warrior. Don't let fear stand in your way. Whatever it is you want, go for it.